Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Rochelle's Table Talk on this beautiful Friday morning. Today, my guest on today is Miss Toni Scrub. She is the CEO and founder of Toni T Sweets. So I want you all to sit back and enjoy the show the title of the show is Past Guest, Then and Now. So I want you to sit back and enjoy as she shares her journey with us on today. Good morning, Toni. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you on this beautiful Friday morning?
I am doing fine. It's a beautiful day. Hey, everyone.
So look, Toni, I'm really truly honored to be here with you again. The last time I interviewed you was on my radio show, Wake Up to Morning Inspiration, which was back in 2021. 2021, which was what, 3 years ago.
Well,
How
two,
time flies.
21, two, yeah, three, well, two and a half. Yeah, 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
going on 3 years. Going
Yeah,
on 3 years.
going on 3 years. Yeah.
So that time has really flown, right?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Time has flown. So I want you to take everyone back. Um, I want you to take everyone back to how you got started. What inspired you to become this amazing Toni T Sweets that you are? Take everyone
Well,
back to started.
okay. Well, I could say that. I'm a work in progress. Um, I've always enjoyed baking. I always enjoy baking. I get my love of baking from my mother because during the holidays she would always do a lot of the baking, along with the cooking because she's an amazing cook. But she would
Wow.
do a lot of baking and a lot of cakes and everything for the holidays.
Mhm.
And I said, I want to say this was right after the storm. I kind of started experimenting with sweet potatoes because I love sweet potato pie. That's one of
Me
my
too.
favorite. That's one of my favorites, along with apple. And I was like, I'm gonna make a sweet potato pie. First time I made it, wasn't successful. I was like, okay, this didn't come out right. Second time, it's too sweet. Third
Hmm.
time, I was like, all right. So I took one recipe and I kind of tweaked it and modified it to my own. And that was it. And the pies came out good. And so
Hmm.
I remember I brought some to work, and I gave them to some of my coworkers, and I was like, "Here, y'all try this out. Tell me what you think about it." It's like, "Oh, this good. This good. You gonna make some more?" And I was like, "Ah, okay, yeah, I'll make some more." And that kind of started uh, my journey. And then I took a cake decorating class that was offered by the recreation department, Jefferson Parish Recreation Department,
Hmm.
and it was Cake One, and they showed us how to do different little designs and everything. And I remember my little cake that I made. I brought it to my aunt's house because my cousin was having a bridal shower, and I was like, "Here, I mean not a bridal shower, it was a bachelorette party," and I brought the cake over there, and I was like, "Y'all taste this cake. Tell me what it tastes like." And they ate the cake, and it was good. And I ended up making some little pies for another event, and ended up learning how to make cake pops and stuff like that. And
Wow.
that's kind of how my little journey kind of started
That's so really.
into it.
You're saying your mom inspired you to become this way.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, she inspired me with baking. And
Yeah.
actually one of the first things she actually taught me how to make was ooey gooey cake, but growing
Ooh,
up we called it smash down cake. And she showed me how to make that. And that's
that-
one of the things she taught me how to make.
that's my favorite cake, Tony. Ooey gooey. I love it.
Ooey gooey, ooey gooey, ooey gooey. And like if I make it for my mom, my mother loves coconut. So if I make one for her, I have to put not only coconut in it, but she likes pecans. So I put coconut and pecans in hers. But yeah, I love baking.
So listen, as you were talking, Tony, and you were sharing a story on how you started and what inspired you, there are so many people out here today that just know how they have so many gifts and talents that they don't realize that can become their business. That, in a word of God, it said that your gift will make room for you. If they would just apply those gifts and just pour into those gifts and nurture those gifts, they can become really successful with the gifts that they have. So I love that you did take that gift that your mom inspires you to become that great baker, and you nurtured that gift and you kept pushing and to become Tony's Tea Sweets that you are today. So when did you know this was going to be you was going to start a business with this? When did you realize, hey, this is going to be a business?
Um, I want to say it probably took a while for me to like realize, like, okay, this is going to be a business. Because, like I said, I was just, baking, because that's what I like to do or whatever.
Right.
But I want to say it, I guess it really didn't start, the wheels didn't start turning until I want to say 1 year. What was that year? I want to say, was it 2014?
Mm-hmm.
That Valentine's Day. And I had posted a flyer on my page, and I was doing Valentine's Day orders, so chocolate covered strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that. I was like, okay, this is really serious, because I had like a lot of orders that particular year
Right.
for strawberries, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, I felt like I was up to my elbows in strawberries, because it was just strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. And yeah, that's when I realized, I
Realize.
was like, okay, I guess this is really a business now,
And
you know?
it was for you to make that one move. And when you decided to make that one move and step out and try and continually, when you made that one move and stepped out, that's when God made two on your behalf. And that's why you were like so overwhelmed, like, my goodness, everybody want this. Yeah, I didn't want it. Because if you just make a move and step out and try your hand at it, hey, your gift's gonna make room for you. And that's really
Yes. Yes. And sometimes we have a tendency to kind of maybe doubt our abilities, or
right.
sometimes we're too scared to actually, step out and make that move. But
Right.
sometimes you do have to just, step out on faith and say, all right, God, I trust you, and I'm just going to give it to you. But yeah.
Right. So many people say, "Oh yeah, this is my little hobby. This is what I do on the side. It's not no big deal." But they don't realize that that could be your ticket. That could be your gold mine right there. Your gifts. They're feeding. They don't nurture those gifts because they don't feel is they can do it for one. They're afraid for two, and their insecurity. So they feel like, "Oh, it's just a little something something that I do. It's no big deal." But yes, it is a big deal. It is a big deal.
Yeah, you have to look at it as, it is a big deal, like you said, because, this is something that you're doing, and, you want to put your all into it. You
Yes.
want to, I know the biggest thing for me is making sure that my customers are pleased and they're happy with the product. When I tell them, I say, give me, I want to know, how do you like it, good, bad, or indifferent?
Right.
Because, if it's something that I didn't do, okay, I could look back on it and say, well, you know what, I can fix that. What can I do to make it better?
Right.
I'm big on feedback. So
I love that.
some
I love that. You welcome corrective criticism. You welcome that
yes,
because
yes,
you to grow. Don't get
yes.
offended by it, but take that as a learning tool and apply it to your
Hmm.
business, actually grow, because people will give you great feedback, and some things you weed out and you say what you want to apply to it, and you take that and you add to your business,
Hmm.
and it helps to grow and make the business even better.
Yeah.
Because the best business you have is word of mouth, and that
Yes.
that was that repeat customers, and word
Yes.
of, that's what you want. So you want to make sure you
Hmm.
giving them what they want.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. And
Mhm.
I'm big on that. Like I said, I value, feedback from my customers. And the biggest thing for me is when I have a customer come back and tell me, Toni. The cake was wonderful. It was delicious. To me, that's 100 grand. That's worth 100 grand. And when I know that they're pleased, and when they see the finished product, when I see the expression across their face, and their face lights up with joy, happiness, that's 100 grand to me.
Yeah.
That's
Yes. So I mean, like I said, I love your cupcakes, Tony. I love, 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 love. I love all the stuff that I see you doing. And also, let me ask you, where did the name Tony T Sweets come from? Name come from?
well, that's funny because um I remember uh I was at work. I want to say this was might have been 20. I'm thinking, oh gosh, might have been so I don't know, like 2017 or whatever.
Okay.
Um, I'm saying 2017. No, I'm wrong. I take that back. That was in. This was in. When did the Saints go to the Super Bowl? 2010.
Oh, that was 2010.
2010.
Right.
Okay, I was at work, and I was sitting at work, and I would always sketch and draw stuff like on my downtime or whatever. And I drew out some cupcakes, and I drew out, some cookies, and I wrote the name Scrubby's Sweet Treats. And that was my initial name that I had because, as you know, my last name is Scrubs.
Right.
But I said Scrubbies because one of my students at the time, her sister was in pre-K, and they would bring the little kids to their older siblings. And her sister couldn't say my name. She would say, "Hey, Miss Scrubsies." And I just thought it was the cutest little thing. So I wrote out, I was like, "Scrubby Sweet Treats." And I remember telling my cousin that. And I was like, if I have a little business, I want to name it Scrubby Sweet Treats. And my cousin thought it was hilarious. She thought it was funny. Uh, so I was like, maybe I should do that. And but I ended up switching it to Toni T Sweets because when I ended up getting the Instagram, and I couldn't think of nothing, so
Right.
that just clicked. And when I was posting my work, and I just put two and two together. So that's how I kind of came up with
Tony,
Toni T Sweets. But it was like
Tony,
on a whim.
right. Tony T Sweets. Well, guess what? Tony T Sweets, which Tony T Sweets fits you well. I,
Thank
I
you.
Yeah, it says a lot. It says everything in that one Tony T sweet. And they are amazing. The sweets are good. I love the cupcakes, and I stick on your cupcakes so much. That's how I never forget the first time I tried a cupcake. I'm like, this is unreal.
I
Oh
think it
my,
was the chocolate was you like.
I don't know which one. No, I think it was a vanilla, and it was just really delicious, Tony.
Well,
And
I'm glad you liked
I
it.
was sold since day one. So I tell y'all, if y'all listening, y'all looking for some great cupcakes and great desserts, Tony T Sweets is the place to be. Reach out to her for the delicious desserts, all types of different what do they call it again? I don't want to say it wrong with the picture on the cake.
Oh,
What do
with
they
the edible images, yes.
the edible images cakes? They are everything's just amazing. If you're looking for someone that's gonna be professional, that's gonna give you the great product, Tony T Sweets is the place to be. So so that's where the name come from, Tony. So let me ask you, so where are you now? So when you came on the show in 2021, we were talking about Tony T Sweets and what you do and different things. So are you doing anything different? Like, or did you add anything to your um to what you're making? Like I know you was doing the cupcakes and the cakes and things like that. Are you doing anything extra now in your business?
Um,
I think you was doing the wedding cakes now that you
yes,
wasn't doing.
I'm doing wedding cakes. Actually, the last wedding cake I did was in August of 22, and it was a 4-tier wedding cake. And I want to
Wow.
say, yeah, that was my biggest wedding cake that
Ooh,
I've
there.
ever done. It was 4 tiers. Oh my gosh, that cake was huge, and it was heavy. It was heavy to the point to where I couldn't pick it up by myself, so I had to I had to call for help. I had to call uh, my cousin to come and help me with the cake. I was like, "Hey, look, I need you to come and help me
Wow.
deliver this cake because I can't do it by myself and it's too
Wow.
heavy." So
Wow.
yeah, it was 4 tiers. It's a beautiful cake, very,
I
very
believe.
beautiful
I,
cake. It was beautiful cake. It was just it was big. It was
I can
heavy.
definitely look. I definitely can believe that. So I definitely can believe that was a big old huge cake, but I know that it was delicious. Oh, I know they had a great time eating that cake.
Yeah, she did. My the bride, I talked to her and she was like the cake was delicious. Everybody loved it. And I'm like, that's good. I'm happy. I'm
Yeah,
happy about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was excited about that. So
So the wedding cakes are something that you were that, and back in 2021, that's something you were that you hadn't started doing yet. But so now 2023, are there any more things that you're doing that you have added to your Tony T Sweets franchise? Is anything? I mean, company has anything to it? I'm sorry, I'm already speaking in your future franchise. Look at that.
okay, thank you so
Oh,
much. Um I wanna say no, not nothing more I can't think of offhand.
oh,
Aside from, doing more cakes,
right,
um more cakes. Like I said, I enjoy doing the birthday cakes, and this past weekend I did two graduation cakes. I did a graduation cake, and I did two birthday cakes, and some other things, cupcakes and everything. So I really do enjoy making the cakes.
that's amazing. So I know you was pretty busy. I know you had to be pretty busy during this graduation season because everybody's graduating. So I know you had so many orders coming through for all types of cupcakes and on and on. Dessert tables.
That was last weekend. Last weekend was busy. Last weekend was very, very, very busy for me. So I had like I said, I had a good amount of orders for one person.
Right,
It kept me busy last weekend.
I believe it.
So
Let me ask you, Tony. So what can you say was maybe one of your biggest challenges uh getting Tony's Tea Sweets started? What can you say was one of your biggest challenges that you had to overcome in getting started with Tony's Tea Sweets? Because so many people feel like when they look at yourself and say so many others who have started their own business, they feel like okay, it was easy for them. But we know that it's not ever easy. It's always a challenge. It's always a hurdle, and every great person always stands to this. If you look back in history, everyone has to go through and go down and overcome challenges and face their fears and to become the great person they are. So, what would be one of the challenges that you can think of that you have had to overcome in order to get Tony's Tea Sweets where it is today?
I want to say that one of the things that was a challenge for me is like I said, self-doubt, because sometimes you have the ability of doubting yourself and
Mhm.
not believing that you're um able to accomplish something, because you like
Right,
because fear, allowing fear to step in. And that's one of the things that I try not to let get in your mindset of not being afraid to step out and do things. And like I said, that and one other thing is, I know trying to learn how to pipe rosettes on a cake. I
woo,
That drove me crazy because I couldn't get it the first time, and the second time I couldn't get it, and the third time I couldn't get it. It took me like 7 tries to get it, and I would get frustrated, and I'd be like, I can't do it, but I kept at it, and eventually I got it. But I want to say, like fear and
right,
self doubt, you know, not being so afraid and scared to venture out on things. And I still get a little scared and a little shaky, because I'm human. But
right, right.
you know
And just doing it afraid is all that you have to do. But you're right. So many people have uh fear. They're fearful to step outside of the norm. They don't
Mm-hmm.
want outside of that norm. They want to stay where it's comfortable. But in order to become a greater you, you have to step outside of yourself and step outside of that
Yes.
norm and step
Yes.
outside to the realm of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, but you have to step outside of yourself in order to become the greater you. So that's
Yeah.
what you have to do. So that's great that you did not allow fear to hold you back. You pressed forward.
Mm.
And look at you
Because,
today. Now you piping
yeah.
Rosetta's, right?
Piping Rosette's on cakes and doing other stuff. But like I said, we sometimes we have a tendency, like I said, to let fear to set in and stifle us and stop us from, you know, venturing out on these things that that we're capable of doing. I'll tell anybody, you know, take one step, but in all things, keep God first. You know,
Right. That's the only
trust
way.
in Him. Put Him first. And
Right.
it's like I said, there have been some nights where I'm up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night into Saturday morning, working on orders, working on cakes, trying to get everything pushed out, for the next day. There are gonna be nights, where you staying up late, and you know, you gotta put in that
Right.
work.
Look, anything worth having is going to be have to you're going to have to work hard at it.
Yeah.
Anything worth having, you have to work hard at it. It's not going to come easy. And then
No.
when God gives you something, it's going to not going to be easy. It's going to be a hard press. But hey, He's there to help get us through.
Yes.
But I said earlier, putting God first is the
Mm.
key to any successful business, successful relationship, period. Anything that you want to be successful at, you have to put God first. And the
Yes.
thing about it, we have our fears, and if we just allow God to just give us the strength to press forward, and we make the one move, He's gonna make two on our behalf. And I know it sounds so cliche, but it's not. It is so true. God is right there waiting to help us make it through everything because
Yes.
He's blessed us with all of these gifts and talents, and He wants us to step out into it, but we don't allow ourselves because we let fear stagnate us, or the opinions of others, or our
Yes.
own insecurities, or this and that. But
Mm-hmm.
we can't allow that because if we continue to allow that to stop us, we'll never reach our God given purpose and
Mm-hmm.
never see that great person that God has originally called us
Oh
to be.
yes, yes, and you won't be able to reach that maximum potential because you allow yourself, like I say, to get in the way, or you allowing thoughts of what other people say or what this one say or
Hmm.
whatever to get in your mindset. But it's like I said, you have to, you know, look at yourself and be like, you know what, self. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. You
Oh,
got
and
to,
encourage,
like the song said, you have to encourage yourself.
gotta
So
encourage
yeah,
yourself.
so you have to. Sometimes you got to have a pep talk with self and be like, okay, self, you can do this. So you got
You're right.
this.
Because you
You
know
got to
why?
put in the work.
Right. We're our worst enemies. The only one
Yes,
who hold us back from achieving all that God has for us is us. We
yes,
are the one that can hold us back because hey, it's us. If we don't step out and make that move and just have tunnel vision and say no matter what, I'm gonna press forward. I'm not gonna look to the left nor to the right. I'm gonna focus on what I know God says about me and I can do this. Through Him, I can do all things.
through
And really
Christ that strengthens me.
right, and really apply all that to your life. And just some people, you have a tendency to just say these words, but when you really begin to apply those words to your life, then you're
Hmm.
going to begin to see yourself reaching goals and achieving
Hmm.
things and seeing yourself in a different light. You're like, wait, is that me? Yes, that is me. Because now
Yeah.
you're, yeah, so you have to step outside of your comfort zone. I always say we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable
Hmm.
to our greater self
Yes.
all the way, Tony. And I see you
Yes.
have done that. You have done that. You stepped outside of yourself. And I know you have many more challenges. You have more things you're going to be doing. And you're going to be stepping outside of yourself even more. You're going to begin to see more and more things developing your journey with Tony's Tea Sweets. I know you know this,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I thank you for manifesting this journey and seeing these things for me. Like I say, it's it's a balance. Like I said, between work and business because I also do have a full-time job.
Right.
So there are days when I'm getting off of work,
And
and
tell
I gotta run errands, because when it's just you, you're one man, one band,
right,
one person show. So it's
right,
like, okay, you got to go run errands, get supplies, get things that you may need, for your upcoming orders. And I
right,
have to constantly write stuff down, and work strategically, and
right.
maximize my time. So yeah,
Amazing.
when I'm doing
Right. So,
things.
so Tony, I know some of the things that you do. Let the people know that's listening. What are some of the things that you do? How they can reach you? The time that you would like them to put their orders in. Um, so that So can you give them the information how they can contact you, the things that you're doing, and the type of orders you can put up on.
Okay, so the things that I make, the products that I make, of course, I do birthday cakes, wedding cakes, baby shower cakes, any type of cake, just because cake doesn't
Right.
matter. Of course, cupcakes as well,
Uh huh.
brownies, other sweet treats as far as ooey gooey cake. I do uh, the popcorn, chocolate covered popcorn, pretzel sticks, chocolate covered strawberries.
And
Um,
able as well.
yes, sweet
Okay.
tables as well. Chocolate covered Oreos.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things.
So y'all heard
Peach
basically.
cobbler.
Right.
Um,
Basically, anything you think about that you can think
yeah,
about for your
just
party, your event, she can do it. So how can it
yes.
reach out to you? What is the amount of time that you prefer someone place their order?
Usually, in general, I would tell them to call me up or reach out to me. Hopefully, between 2 to 3 weeks of their event, I can put it down on my calendar and my notebook.
Okay.
Preferably 2 to 3 weeks in
Okay.
advance,
Okay.
and they can reach me on Instagram at Toni T Sweets. That's ToniTeeSweets on Instagram. And
Okay.
they can email me at
Mhm.
ToniTeeSweets@gmail.com. That's ToniTeeSweets@gmail.com.
And I'm going to have all the information at the top of this video so that way you can all click the links and reach out to Toni for your orders, anything you have coming up. She is there. So, I mean, you are not going to regret placing an order with this woman. Her stuff is amazing. I'm a witness. I tried it. It's delicious. So definitely reach out to her for all of your events. So, Toni, what would you say to anyone that's looking to step out and start? They have a gift and they're doing this gift and they want to step out and begin to create their own business. What advice would you give to someone that's listening that wants to step out and do this and is afraid? What advice would you give them?
The advice to them, I would tell them, one, put God first. Two,
Mm-hmm.
um, step out. If you want to bake, if you like to bake, you know, start off with cupcakes or whatever. You utilize your family. Say, hey, I need y'all to be the test tasters. I want you to try this out. Tell me what you think of it. Utilize your family. Utilize your friends. If you have little kids, little cousins, they will give you their honest feedback. They will tell you,
Yes,
this tastes good. No, yeah, it's good. No, it's nasty. You utilize your family, kids, your neighbors, everybody.
right,
Have them to try your product out. Don't be afraid of failure. If it doesn't work this time, okay, scrap it. Try again. Sometimes it takes like multiple times for you to
right,
get it. But the thing is, don't give up. Keep
right,
pushing. Keep pushing. You have
right,
to put in work. And sometimes it doesn't automatically come easy. There's sometimes there are going to be some late nights where you staying up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and
mm-hmm.
you working because you got to get these orders done, and you just got to put in the work. But I would tell anybody, don't be afraid. Step outside the box. Put God first, and just don't be afraid.
Amen. There you go. You know, you can we put in hours on someone else's job, making them rich and creating their business and their company. So why you can't put into your own to make
Yep.
your great? So that's
Yep.
the energy and switch it around for yourself. So
Yeah.
I love it, love it, love it. So Tony, I thank you so much. As always, it's an honor. It's always a privilege to sit and talk with you and hear all the amazing things you're doing, hear about your different desserts that you're creating, and just talk with you. Period. I just love your energy. Love forward. So I thank God for this opportunity again to sit and talk with you. 2.5 years later again.
I know. Yay.
I know one thing with God, we always evolving. We're never staying the same. So I want to have you back on again eventually because I know you're going to be doing some more great things that you're able to share with us. Um, Stay pushing forward. Don't give up. Continue pressing. And thank you all for tuning in on today. I'm going to have all the information at the top of the video so you can click on the links to reach out to Miss Toni T. Sweets for all of your sweet desires. And thank you again, Toni, for being a part of the show on the day, taking time out of your busy schedule. As always, it is always a pleasure talking
Well,
with you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I enjoyed being on the show this morning. Thank you. I appreciate your support, you and Chef Jason's support. I
Thank you.
thank you. I humbly thank you. And I thank you for just allowing me to be on your platform to promote my business. I
Of
humbly
course.
thank you, and I enjoy talking to you as always. As always, thank you,
My
thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you all for tuning in to Rochelle's Table Talk. Tune in next week for another amazing guest. See you all soon.
See you later. Peace. Have a good day.